Hello, everyone. My name is Arena Ralston, and slideshow from the beginning. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Arena Ralston, and today I'm going to be presenting to you about the Member Assistance Program and what it is and how you, as members, can use it. So today we're going to talk about what is MAP, or the Member Assistance Program, counseling services and career and life coaching that MAP provides, and then other MAP benefits. So firstly, what is MAP? As I said before, it's the Member Assistance Program, and this is in partnership with America's Service Commission to provide AmeriCorps members with additional benefits and resources. So these benefits there is a wide variety of benefits that are offered through MAP, anywhere from counseling to life coaching to different financing advice to legal advice to long-term care advice for your parents. Like, there's a bunch of different benefits within this program that are available to you free of charge, and they come with your AmeriCorps service. And for us as AmeriCorps members, we like to think of MAP as a mental health resource. As I said, there's counseling and life coaching offered, so most of these resources are geared towards mental health. This is just a little quick picture on how to sign in, which we'll go over here in a second. But we would like you to create your account with the same email that you use for your AmeriCorps. You'll just log in with that email and you'll have to verify it, and then you can sign in and explore all the benefits. So first, we're going to talk about counseling services, which is one of the two big services offered by MAP. You can see there, it's circled in black, is a bunch of different information. You can request, this is where you will request counseling and request work-life services, which I will show you when we do a demo at the end. The call for support button you can also use to register for counseling, but usually, or primarily, you're going to click this button right here, the call for or the request counseling button, and then it's going to take you to a document that you will submit, and this document we'll look at later. It shows you a bunch of different resources, or it's going to ask you a bunch of different questions about the type of counseling you'd like to receive, also just about your personal information and why you're requesting counseling. And there's two different ways that you can make appointments, and that is through a telehealth appointment, or you can call the hotline, and you can make unlimited a number of appointments. And you can meet with the same counselor over and over again. One of the reasons they ask you to fill out this form is so that you can look through, or you can be matched with a counselor, and you can meet with that counselor every single time, which is super awesome. You don't have to change every time. You can just meet with the same person over and over again, which is like a normal counselor. And again, this is free of charge, so super great. I've made a counseling appointment just to talk about like stresses with working and going to school at the same time, and the counselor was super helpful, really nice to talk to. These people's jobs is to talk to us and try and give us life advice and just be someone to listen. And it's super helpful, and yeah, I really liked it. The next big thing that they offer is life coaching and career services. So this life coaching is really, I like to think of it as advice. So when you're going to fill out a form just like you would for the counseling center, and in that form, it's going to ask you what kind of life coaching you'd like to receive. And there's a bunch of different options. There's career, there's relationship coaching, there's long-term care coaching, childhood or child care coaching. But I like to think of it more as advice. These are the topics that you're coming to these people that you want to speak about, or that you have problems with, or that you need advice for. And I'll show you this again later. But it's the same thing as the counseling services. You're going to complete the work-life benefit form, and you'll select the type of coaching you want to receive. And then again, you are matched with a coach, and you'll meet with the same coach for every session. And with either the counseling or the coaching, if you feel that you and the person you are matched with are not a great fit or just not a great option, you can always request to rematch or meet with someone else, and they will do that for you. We're going to talk about some additional map resources now. You can see at the top here, these are the 6 web sections throughout the website, which I will show you in a little bit deeper here in a second. The first one is family and relationships. So this just lists all the different types, and in each section there is going to be information, mainly articles, sometimes like documents or calculators that pertain to each of these topics, which we'll talk about or show more of in the web demo section. At the very end here, you can see there's a site features tab, and I kind of just wanted to highlight what's in that drop down. So firstly is your benefits. This is just a snapshot of what type of account you have and all the benefits that you're eligible for. Second is calculators. This one was really awesome. I was looking, there's a bunch of different types. There's mortgage calculators, savings calculators, auto loan calculators, basically a financial tool, but it was really, really cool. And I'm actually in the market to buy a new car. So this was really helpful for me. I could see how much, like really what my budget is, depending obviously on like my income and all those other things. But super great tool there. And there's a soft skills. So here you can basically sign up for different courses within the soft skills. So there's one that's like anger management. There's a communication one, and you basically take these modules and they're like little classes, and you can like journal down notes. So that's super helpful. The legal forms and worksheets here, just to note that this is not like certified legal advice, and they don't claim it to be, but it is just legal advice that, and also forms that you can download and print out. There was a custody document, a living will document, a renter's agreement. So a bunch of different downloadable forms there that you can look at, and also just different informational pieces. And then in podcasts, these are all less than 10 minutes, and they're just about a bunch of different topics. There's one about sleep in college life. There's one about like sharing expenses with your partner, like a bunch of different random topics. But they're really short, which I kind of like, because if it's short, then I know they're getting like down to the point and they're just sharing the information that I wanted to listen to when I clicked on the podcast. So that's really awesome. For assessments, these I like to think of as risk assessments. There's a bunch of different types, and you basically just take them and see if you're at risk for a said condition. So there's one for alcoholism, anxiety, and a couple other ones too. And then the resource locator, I'll show you here in a second, but this one, it shows you a map, and you put in your zip code and the type of resource you're looking for. This can be a hospital, a dialysis center, childcare, a school, a library, anything like that. And you put in your zip code, and then it will populate places within a certain amount of distance from your zip code. All right. I'm gonna get out of here, and we're gonna go into the map site now. Hopefully I remember my password. All right. So this is what it looks like once you log in. You can see here, this is what I had circled during the first couple of slides there. This is the request counseling button, request work life services. This is the coaching. So you would just click on this, and this is the form that you have to fill out. It's gonna start by asking you your institution. You would put AmeriCorps. Your relationship, you would select member. And they ask what we can do for you. So you can do individual, family, or couples counseling. And then counseling modality is either video or phone. There is a face-to-face option, but with our contract, we cannot offer that. So either video or phone. Then you put in all of your personal information. And here is where who else will be attending counseling with you. You can, if there's somebody else, you can select yes, and then you'll put in their information. This is for like family or couples counseling. And then here is the details. This is where you would kind of explain your situation. Some additional questions here. And then for requesting work-life services, it's pretty much the same form, except for the only thing that's different here is the how can we help you. This drop down is a bunch of there, like I said earlier, a bunch of different options here that you need coaching or advice for. And obviously, if whatever you want to talk to this professional about isn't within one of these, there's an other button here. Then your personal information, and then confidentiality, and that's it. So digging deeper into these different tabs, the first one is family and relationships. This is the same across the board. There's a drop down for each of them, and they're all going to be different categories. And when you click into any of these categories, it's just going to provide you, hello? Okay, a list of resources within that drop down. So this is like an article that talks about teen drug use and mental health. And then there's also within each of these short articles, not even a page, there's going to be different resources within them. So that is really the value here. Let's see, getting a pet. It's going to talk to you about the reasons why you should, why you shouldn't. Talks about goal setting for children and a pet. But yeah, there's a lot of resources within these documents that are really helpful, and that can be extremely useful. So that's going to be the same across the board. I just clicked on cars. Here is like an article, and then here's a resource within this article. So that's going to be the same for all of these. There's just going to be articles and then resources within the articles. And then I will say right here on the side, this sidebar, they have an events calendar, and this basically just has all of their upcoming events and their webinars. So these are different webinars that you can attend, and these are the topics. And then there's also recordings of those webinars that you can watch and listen to. And then in this very last tab, the site features tab, I went over a little bit in the PowerPoint. We'll just look at some of these things more closely. Your benefits. When I click on this, these are all the benefits that I have available to me. And this is legal and financial consultation. This is amazing. It is sorry. Yeah, this is a great resource, and I've never like seen this before ever. So this is a great resource for you. It offers a 30-minute consultation with an attorney and also a 25% discount if you decide to hire them. I've never heard of a free legal consultation ever, so this is super awesome if you're having problems with your landlord or literally anything. I would totally take advantage of that. Also, this medical advocacy, this is super important. If you cannot advocate for yourself, you can hire or not hire, but have someone be there with you. And also, I'd like to point out that all of these services are available to anyone that lives in your household. So if you have children that need legal and financial consultations, or you have parents that need these resources, they're also available to them. The calculators tab, here's the auto calculator I was talking about. We'll just go into dealer financing versus credit financing. So I think this is literally the information I put in last time. Total price of the car, loan term, a dealer financing rate, that is probably wrong, credit union rate. I say this is wrong because I put it in there, so it's probably not accurate. But like here, it tells you your monthly payment going with a credit union versus a dealer. Obviously, 225 is less than 257. Um, that's with a $5,000 down payment, whatever. And then it shows you the differences here. And it also gives you a list of definitions of all of the numbers that you were putting in. And this is the same across all of these calculators. Legal forms and worksheets. So in here, these are different types of forms that you can look up. So let's go to legal. These are all legal forms that they have available. Here's a living will, authorization to check credit and employment references, a downloadable form, a basic will, will for adult with no children. So these are like real documents that you can learn about and also download. And I think this is a great resource because even being in college, like we've never had a class or nobody has ever really taught us about any of these documents. You're kind of just expected to know everything as an adult for some reason. So really awesome that they offer this. A really great resource. Soft skills. This is like the classes I was talking about. Let's just click on the anger management one. So basically, there's different units here you can see, and you can start the unit, and there will be different modules and a reading, and then there's a quiz as well. And then after you do that, you would go on to the next module and the next one. And I think you get a certificate at the end. So that's really cool as well. In podcasts, these are the short podcasts I set. Like this one is literally not even 3 minutes long. Like that's awesome. Back to school preparedness, 4 minutes, 2 minutes. So these are all really great resources. Really quick listens with a lot of information, and honestly, just a great way to be knowledgeable about what's going on around us. Assessments, these are the different risk assessments I was talking about: alcohol use, anxiety, type 2 diabetes, depression, financial wellness. When you click into these, it'll just ask you these questions. Here, we can go through one. Um, I'm just gonna click like random. Okay. You submit your answers, results, moderate anxiety symptoms. And then they offer you different resources and strategies to navigate through this. So this is like a PDF that you can download that has different resources and strategies. Like this is a breathing exercise right here. So, okay. So those are really awesome. If you think you're at risk of any of these things, you don't have to go to a doctor, you don't have to call someone, you can literally just take this assessment and find out. And there's even resources on what to do after you get your results. Resource locator. This is the map I was talking about. I'm just going to type in my zip code, and then I'll say distance 5 miles, and then you can click all through all of these different ones. I'll just do higher education. And so I know Drake University is going to be right there because I live right next to it. And then Des Moines University. So these are all different. There's even like a beauty school in there. So it's not like specifically college, but like anything that fits into this category is going to be in here. Beauty school, health sciences, community college, um, radiology. So super great. And this is valid for all of them. So we'll select, we'll do emergency shelters. So there's a church, middle school, like all of these places that offer shelter services. And then it also gives you a map that you can look through. So yeah, that's pretty much everything throughout the website. Really, just to overview, the two most important things are requesting counseling and requesting work-life services. That these are on every single page you click on, because it's the greatest service that they offer. So, yeah. And I'll mention that each member is required to complete 3 coaching sessions, not the counseling sessions, but the coaching sessions as part of their professional development throughout their service. And this is in your member position description. I'll say I have done one of the coaching sessions before, and it was definitely a new experience, but a good one. I really enjoyed it, and they had, it was nice to have a different perspective, especially someone who isn't like also a college student or my parents. So that was really nice. And these you will report in your progress in your monthly check-in form, which Erin, I think she sent out one last week or the week before, so this will be once a month and it'll be in those emails from Erin. And you'll just say if you went to a coaching session, what you did, if you liked it. And then the bullets under there, if you're a youth mental health corps member, and if you are one, you would know. You can access coaching through a different website called Inside Track, and I'm going to be sending out some information about that later. But if you're not a Youth Mental Health Corps member, you can access it through MAP. Everyone can access it through MAP if you're a Youth Mental Health Corps member or not. But specifically, if you are, you can you have additional resources through Inside Track. So that's really all I had today. Thank you guys for listening. And if you have any questions, my information is listed there, and I'll be happy to get back with you. And yeah, thanks for listening.